going to start the auction shortly. Okay, if everybody comes in and takes a seat, there's plenty of seats up here in the front. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You won't be listening to me for too long. My name is Dermot Dwyer. I'm what they used to call in the early television days the continuity announcer. Remember, between programmes they used to have somebody good looking that would come on and sort of say the next film is supposed to be whatever it is. They only do that with a voiceover now. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of the 2020 town team this evening, and to recognise we're also going to have in attendance, I understand, the Minister. I haven't seen him, but is he? Welcome, Minister. Stephen Donnelly, Deputy Stephen Donnelly, councillors, the Chief Executive of Wicklow County Council, Frank Curran, public officials, and most crucially members of the business, commercial and the sporting community here in Greystones. Just at the outset, in terms of health and safety, for those of you who don't know this venue, out that door and turn right, there's the ladies and gents toilet, but it's also an exit, and also an exit on the stairs that we came up. The purpose of this evening is to formally launch the new greystones.ie website, and to mention in passing some headline progress on several projects, including the public ground plan, Tidy Towns, Burnaby Park, the railway station project, etc., and Christmas lights. The order of the speakers this evening is going to be, I'm going to shortly call up the cohort of Greystones Municipal Council, Councillor Nicola Lawless. It's going to be followed by Councillor Gráinne McLaughlin, who's the chair of 2020. Mark Atkins, who's on our committee, is going to tell us how the website works, and then we're going to have the Minister for Health, Simon Harris, and then finally the Chief Executive of Wicklow County Council, Frank Curran, will officially launch the website. So if I'd like to welcome onto the stage Councillor Nicola Lawless, please.
Good.
Thanks very much, Dermot. Now, Minister, Deputy, it's just Deputy Dominic is here today, and councillors, our Chief Executive Frank Curran, and of course our members of Greystones 2020, and also all our members here of our business community here in Greystones, and our guests. These are all very welcome. As Cahirlock, I'm delighted to be here this evening for the launch of the fabulous new website, greystones.ie. This new website will be of great benefit to our growing town. Greystones.ie will showcase what we have to offer, from tourism to industry and also to family life here in the town. And we will hopefully encourage future hoteliers and other business interests into the district, which will further add to the economy here locally. The website itself, I've had a look at it. I have to say it's absolutely fantastic. It's beautiful. It's very slick, and it's also very easy to navigate around, which is key for anyone that's kind of going in, googling, having a look at Greystones. You know, it's easy accessible, and I have to say it's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So as I previously said, this website, it really is going to showcase Greystones. As most of you have known, and a lot of you here as well today, I've lived here all my life, and I have seen this town expand over the years, and I absolutely love and adore this town of Greystones. But I also have to remember that we're actually a district now as well, and it's going to benefit the likes of our surrounding villages, Delgany and Kilcool and Newcastle as well. And I have to say, we really do have a lot to offer, and even for somebody who has lived here all my life, I didn't realise half the amount of stuff that we actually have to offer here in Greystones. I mean, our music and arts section was absolutely amazing. The amount of sports clubs we have, our local businesses and shops, our restaurants, our pubs, You know, and we have everything. We have the mountains behind us, and we have our beautiful marina and our beautiful seafront here in Greystones. So, I mean, to be able to showcase it on a fabulous website like this is just absolutely amazing as far as I'm concerned. But I just want to acknowledge, before I finish up, because nice and short speech as I always do, I would just like to acknowledge the team of Greystones 2020, because they have put in hours upon hours upon hours of work to get this website up and running for our town. So I would just like to say congratulations and well done to everybody that was involved in this, and I'm sure it's going to be a great success, and it's going to be great benefit and a fantastic showcase here for Greystones. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother. Very well said. I'd now like to call on Councillor Grania McLaughlin, but before you come up, Grania, there are many of us that sit on the committee of 2020 Town Team, but there's no doubt whatsoever, without the drive and without the focus, without the enthusiasm, and without Grania, a lot of this wouldn't happen. And Grania's put a huge amount of effort and work into bringing all of this together. So just before you come up, just want to acknowledge that, Grania.
Thanks, Stuart. I was just saying to Deputy Donnelly there, Stephen, when did this all begin? And I suppose it was all the way back in 2014 when I was last going up for election. Little did I know then that definitely would be my last time going up for election. So we have been talking about this for many years, and I am delighted today to say, yes, we are finally here. So what I'm going to do for you is to actually go through the website and to show you what it can do, and then we will officially launch it. So in the first section we have our town. And as you will see, it is very, very user-friendly, and hopefully Greystones will get much better broadband in the future. So our first section is you go right down and it'll tell you all about Greystones. All these words I have to tell you are by Peter Murta, who kindly met me one day in Boy's Kitchen and said, "What exactly do you want?" And I said, "We love it, but you can say it." And I think he's done it beautifully. You'll see fantastic imagery going right through the website, and that is compliments of both the Greystones strategy, Glenveigh Marina, who kindly donated us all the pictures they had taken, and we have Pat Killalay, who trudged around Greystones to get all the work done. So if we go into our story again, you then have the town team, which tells you all about us, which we won't worry about. Don't worry about us, you can read all about us at another time. And straight down to our history, which has a short history, and will also link in to the Archaeology Society and the Latouche legacy, and even a little bit of the history, because there's a huge amount of photographs up on the Greystones Guide. So if we go straight there, then we go into See and Do. And what we have done is we decided that in each section we would give a synopsis of what the See and Do is, and then we would break it down into the different aspects. So we have, and as you'll see, sometimes there's a little bit of more extra wording underneath. So we have walks, venues, parks and marinas. So if we go into walks, make there. Okay, so it then shows what walks we have in Greystones. So we have, as we can see, 4 walks plus, well, 3 walks, actually 2, plus Kilcool and Elgany. If we go into the Greystones Way, there are Greystones Cliff Walk, whatever you like, it's either. In every case, there will be 2 pictures, so it's the same structure throughout. So whenever you're going through the site, it looks, so it's really easy to see. So we actually have a video of George here today. So George is still famous after all those years. So if there is a website link, there will be a link to the website. And again, that will be external, so we can immediately pop back into what we're doing. So we can go back then to walks there, Mick, underneath it. I don't think anybody really wants to see George right now. Okay. And you can go walks, then you can go back to, as it says, it goes back to walks. On every page allow you back to where you were originally. Then you can go, if you go up into See and Do again there, Mick, and you will see venues. Okay. And what was amazing about this project is that there are so many things happening. So we've got our 5 venues there that we have for places to actually do. Now I know there are some village halls, but we needed to go into the main things that are going on. Again, as I said before, 2 main pictures, a link to website, and back into wherever the venues are. You can click into the library there, and some of the pictures are lovely. Some of these come in from the Greystone strategy all those years ago. Again, information, how do you join, telephone number, and a link into their website. And if they don't have their own website, if they had a Facebook website, we'd go in there, or a Facebook website, a Facebook page, or if they were affiliated, say in this case, to wicklow.ie, and it's all about the library on wicklow.ie. So again, if you go into we can carry on from that. You can all have a good look later. If you go into Eat and Drink, again, we click into Eat and Drink. This is the fun bit, getting all this information. So there's nothing better to do than eat and drink in Greystones. So we have restaurants, pubs, cafes and wine bars. So if you're going to click into restaurants, we have every restaurant in the town. And again, we have the same thing. You can, if you move just back up there to Chakra, go into Chakra, give some information. Where I got most of the information from was actually either their website's Facebook page, or in some cases we got information from TripAdvisor. So again, it goes back to restaurants. You have the ability of the social media to share on social media any of the information you see. So if somebody wants to have a gang of people over here to come to a restaurant, they can always share it with their friends and say, will we go here tonight? It was interesting, on my way over here tonight, I got a phone call. I was coming out from town. Is that Greystones Tourism? And I said, no, but if you wait about 2 hours, you'll be able to click onto greystones.ie and you can find out all about the hotels in the area. So if you go back out into the restaurants, I think we need to see the cafes. If you go down, this makes it interesting, really. Right, if you just want to scroll down, Mick, keep going. Keep going. And we keep going. So yeah, we have a lot of cafes going on in Greystones, and again, exactly the same for each and every one of them. We have included everybody, I think, and I hope I haven't forgotten anybody. But again, you go into the site. There's 2 images, a link to their Facebook or web page, and a telephone number, and sometimes there's other bits of information. And we have Dorothy in full. And again, back out there, Mick. And we can go on to Fizz and Stay. And everybody was laughing at Fizz and Stay. Where do you stay in Greystones? So we overcame that slightly. So again, we've got wording, exactly the same information. So if we go into travel, okay, and again, actually, Mick, if you go, there's the shortcut link there. If you go back into travel on top there, there's something gone amiss there. I knew there'd be always one. If you go see, it comes up in 4 sections. We just have to fix that link. So it's travel by bus, travel by road, travel by rail, and travel by taxi. And again, with links to timetables, how do you get here, which junction you go off. So whatever you want to know about, it is all there, and it's at hand. As you can see, the rail, and then it's a link to the actual timetables and anything you want to know exactly how to get to Greystones. So we go on, and then if you go into sport, you can go into, we go into the hotels. I think it makes interesting reading. So if anybody's got any thoughts on how we can get a few hotels here, it would be great. We do need them. So we've used the 4 that I think is relevant to the area, and what we hope to do now is to talk to these hoteliers and get them to link back to Greystones. I think that would be fair, if nothing else. Again, you go into each of them, website, wording, 2 pictures, so it's all the same throughout. And I think you'll agree it's very visual, and because the more images we have on the website, the more hits it's going to get. We have a lot of work to do on the tagging, but for the most part, it's all there. And if we go into sports and arts, for me, this is the je ne sais quoi of Greystones. So, besides cafes. So we've marine sports art clubs, and well, to be fair to Mark Atkins and myself, spent a lot of time trying to figure out groups, how we should group them all, and we actually felt that the sports, arts and theatre were like-minded activity things to do, and I think it works very well, and it gives a bit of a balance. So we have marine clubs, sports clubs and theatre and the arts. If you go into the marine clubs there, I just think it just makes Greystones look great, which it is. So we have the sailing club, the angling club, the rowing club, the divers and the sea scouts. Again, same thing, into the picture, 2 pictures, wording and link to a website. Okay, and if you could go into the sports and arts section, Mick, it'd be great. Theatre and arts, should I say? Down to theatre and arts, sorry, I beg your pardon. You can go, yeah, there we go. And this is all of the various activities that are going on, and I don't think I've captured them all, but as you can see, it's a huge amount that we have, and I don't think people realise just exactly how much is going on in Greystones. And again, it goes into each one of these. I remember I brought 2 children up in Greystones. There was nothing like this going on, and it's just fantastic, you know. So we're selling it all the time, and you'll see now here you've got the Hot Spot Music Club and the Whale Theatre are 2 main venues. So and then they're also in venues, and so it's important that we're giving as much space to them. But all of these have got a space that they can actually. As you can see, there's no advertising on the website, and nobody is allowed to advertising, nor has anybody paid anything to be on the website. So everyone is per se equal. So if we go into events, then what we decided to do, we would have the 4 main events coming up on a rolling sort of image. So then the events. So our next one is Wicklow Sings Choral Festival, and then we've got the Wayfarer International Championship, King of Greystones Triathlon, and the Greystones Taste of Greystones. The Greystones Taste of Greystones. That's actually a strange name because it's actually about sailing. We have one that's going to happen, and that's the Tidied Hands Fun Day, but I haven't got the date yet. So as soon as that date comes in, you know. In addition, we have a calendar of events, and everything that's happening will go on. Mick, if you click on any one of those sessions, do it if you like. If you click on one, just there. So what happens is an image about it, all the information about the gig, and you'll see if it's free. There's obviously no tickets, but if there are tickets, you can click into the ticket and you can buy a ticket online. Okay. And then finally we have, as you can see all about it if you want to go to see it. And then at the bottom there's a rolling all the time of stuff that's happening, okay, and the next event and whatever. So if we go into services then, we thought long and hard about this, about what we were going to do here. We're not an advertising feature, but we feel that everybody has, you know, all the business in town, they pay rates, whatever, they actually all contribute to the Christmas lights. So it was important that we included them. Now I know I'm going to get phone calls and emails about people not included on this. We included everybody we could find. So if you go into anything, it doesn't. We go in, I tell you, because of some of the people that are here, we go into architects, how about that? Up at A. So you have BBA, we've got Colm O'Brien Architecture, and we have PD Lane Associates. If you click on PD Lane Associates, it'll show you where in the town it is. You can go directly into the website and just zoom into where it is. So it's a bit idiot-proof really. But the main thing is that we think we've included everything, but I know I haven't. So there are more to go in there. And then finally, you go into the contact page, and it's just basically come at us, info@greystones.ie. There's 2 other images in the corner that you can send. You can send a mail to us. You'll see the mail in the corner, and the round top right hand corner, Mick, the very very top right hand corner, the strip on top, on the right hand side, right to the right of that, the round, yeah, there. That's all right. You can type anything to do with Greystones, so anybody got a name, Burnaby, if you want to type that, go on. Well, no, I'm not on the website, so I don't count. So you can type Burnaby, click return. If this doesn't work, I'm going to be so embarrassed. And anything to do with Burnaby comes up. Okay. Say though, and I don't mean to bore you, but there is a few people to do with this site that absolutely need to be thanked. So I'm going to thank them now. the very early start of the Greystones strategy and Stephen Donnelly, and there's a group of us involved, there was a load of pictures that came out of that and sort of gave us this whole live, work, play idea, and it was a lot of work done. So we need to acknowledge, if we hadn't done that work all those years ago, we wouldn't have had this team now. Stephen Kavanagh on our committee and his team in Design Factory. Stephen does most of the work to do with the Glen Fay, and he's on our committee, and he's just done a marvellous amount of work, and his team actually did the wireframe originally for the website, and indeed over the weekend were fixing things for us. So to him and his team, Philip and co, thank you so much. Glen Fay Properties at the Marina, they originally gifted us their logo. Then they gifted us our video, and for those who know about the cost of videos, we saved ourselves about 15,000, and you think I jest not. They gifted us their imagery, which would have cost us about another 3,500. So we really appreciate it, and they also support us financially originally to get us off and going. So they really do deserve a big thanks. I know this sounds mad, but there was a load of people involved. Sheena Gogarty, who is web design in Dalgany, Sheena had to take this over when we needed somebody to help us get it all put together. She has been invaluable, and what she was paid was buttons compared to what the work she did. So Sheena, I don't know where you are, thanks a million. You're wonderful. Tony O'Brien and BBMM up at Eden Gate, he's a web design company in Delvin, for his help with the services plugin. I went to the people, when we say plugin, it's that whole services is a plugin. And when I went back to the company that supplied it to me, I hadn't a clue what they said. I couldn't understand it. So Tony, who I'd done work with on the Kilcool Festival, came to our rescue, and he was great. I have to say thanks to Paul Carney and PC Productions. You'll hear all about him shortly, because he's the guy who put together that little video advert off the actual website. Peter Murtagh, of course, for his words. Pat Killalay for the trudge around the whole of Greystones, taking photographs of things we didn't have or things that were different than what we originally had. And finally, well, there's two finalies. Greystones Municipal District, my colleagues, for supporting us and allowing us to actually to pay a good load towards the cost of doing the website. We really appreciate it. Particularly we appreciate is the fact that they are going to now support on an annual basis the upkeep of the site and to keep it, and Mark will tell you all about that. So thanks my colleagues and the management of Greystones Municipal District. And finally, I would like to thank Wicklow County Council for allowing us to use greystones.ie, and especially to Hubert Fitzpatrick when he was county manager, for the foresight to grab it when it was going way back in the day. So we are delighted to use it. We hope we've done it proud, and thank you.
Well done, Gloria. I'm now going to call on Mark Atkins, who's going to give us an overview on the proposed content management of the site. As Gloria said, having a static site is really of little use. It has to be managed to be kept up to date. So, Mark Atkins.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to go through our plans for what happens next, because obviously having a website is fantastic, but unless we make it a little bit interactive, refresh it and put new content on it, it's just not going to be relevant to anyone. So last year, Greystones 2020 selected the right partner to help increase our engagement through the website and social networks. As Gráinne mentioned, we will be partnering up with Paul Carney. He's an MD at PC Productions, who are a communications and media production company. Over the past 9 years, Paul's company has worked with the likes of Ryanair, Tesco Ireland, Tesco Northern Ireland, Bord Bia, amongst many others. They've produced over 600 projects to date, so they're well equipped to look after our project and needs. Paul has strong background in social media. He's also communications and marketing manager for Bray Airfest, which air show, which we know is a huge success. In Greystones 2020, we're aware communication strategy needs to be put in place. So with this in mind, we aim to create a marketing strategy for greystones.ie using the website and social media messages as tools which can be aligned to our own town goals. Going forward, we want to be, and this is our objective and this is what we want to work towards, to be best in class on social media in the region. So we really want to put ourselves up there and have a high bar to strive towards. We've developed 4 social media networks. They are all going to be launched together with the website. And the purpose of introducing these networks is to increase our communication output. So we would need to be relevant across our social media networks. We need to be relevant across Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all those linking into our website. Part of that, and part of the difficulty in doing all that, and why we have someone like Paul on board, is on simple things like resizing media and media content. They need to be very particular around the image size for each platform. The website, just go on to there, Mick, please. So there are the images, just different sizes for different platforms. The website and social media will bring the brand to life. We wanted to really engage with our businesses and visitors to the town. We aim to create an online experience with regular updates, with information around events, and really to get the use out of the fantastic imagery that we can capture here in Greystones. We want to create awareness around key assets, the town's key assets, very much including part of Ireland's ancient East, and tying into what all that is about for tourism and brand awareness. We want to enhance the awareness of the visitor experience and help attract more tourists, and therefore give businesses more business and footfall. So our SEO tools will help us increase the website ranking on search engines such as Google and Yahoo and places like that. And our long-term aim is to have a website supported with a marketing strategy that achieves our objectives and goals. And thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Very, very interesting indeed. So could I now please call on our local TD and Minister for Health, Simon Harris.
Thank you so much, Dermot, and good evening, Ciara, Deputy Donnelly, councillors, ladies and gentlemen. It's really great to be here this evening and to see so many people who've turned out to show their support for what is clearly an incredible initiative, and clearly one that so much work has gone into over not just the last number of weeks and months, but indeed the last number of years. So I really wanted to be here tonight to help formally launch this and to show my support. But I know, and you very much get the impression when you hear people talk tonight, that this is not just about the launch of a website, but in fact part of a much broader initiative in terms of the work of both the Greystones Town team and the Greystones 2020 initiative. I'm very proud to be from Greystones. It's a fantastic place to have grown up. It's a fantastic place to bring up a family. Indeed, I have a mug at home that says I'd rather be in Greystones, and I often look at it longingly, particularly in certain days of my job, wishing I was indeed back in Greystones. In fact, I annoy my staff so much by boasting about being from Greystones. I try to explain to them that Greystones is not just a place to live, it's a way of living, which they look at me rather peculiarly. But now we'll be able to direct them to this website where they can see how brilliant this is. But Greystones genuinely as a community is a superb place, and we saw that even during the economic recession, whereby the community actually coming together managed to keep our town going, managed to keep our main street going as well, where so many other towns faltered. And I think that says an awful lot about the community spirit, about the business people, about the sort of leadership that we have in this town. I want to really pay tribute to everybody who played such a big part in it. And of course we've much more to come, because we see a significant investment in our schools with lots more to come. We see our sports facilities doing really, really well with lots of investment going to them, a primary care centre coming underway, really exciting plans for our IDA lands as well. So I think we can gather here tonight to be proud about our town, where it's come from, but very excitingly where it's going to go as we move towards Greystones 2020 as well. And I really want to pay tribute to those of you in this room who've made this possible, because of course Greystones could have gone a very different way. There was an economic recession, there was the disbandment of our Chamber of Commerce, there was a drying up of investment, but actually the town team stepping up and stepping up to the plate really was the perfect solution. And I want to pay tribute to all of you who played such a big part in that, because it has been an incredible success. So tonight obviously is particularly about the website, and I've had the pleasure of having a sneak preview, and Gráinne's taken us through it in a very comprehensive fashion. And Mark, I think it's fair to say it looks absolutely fantastic. So thank you to those of you who inputted into it in so many ways. And I think it's a really, really good reflection of our town and all that we have to offer. It comes across as a town that is welcoming, that is warm, that is fun, and I know it will help attract more people to come and visit us here in our beautiful town. But we haven't gotten here by accident. You know, we can all turn up at events like this and say, isn't that a lovely website? And we got here because of the incredible work of an awful lot of people in this room, of the Greystones town team, from the brilliant Dermot Dwyer, a man who gives so much to our community, so much to our town, often behind the scenes, to Dorothy Gray, Marlena Murphy, Colin O'Brien, Colin Love, Mark Atkins, Jerry Walsh, Hubert Fitzpatrick, Danica Murphy, Stephen Kavanagh, and all of you who work so hard. And of course, if you don't mind me singling out, my good friend and colleague, Councillor Gráinne McLaughlin, and I can afford to single her out now because she's not running for election again. She says this every 5 years and usually changes her mind, but she's actually not going to this time. But Gráinne, I want to say tonight, in front of your colleagues and neighbours, you've achieved so much for our community, and it's so fitting that as we near the end of your term in elected office, but certainly not in community life, that we're here to launch this website, because this sums up everything that you are. I remember actually being in this room, so fitting, because I remember the Porsche cabin out the front so many times when you were delivering the Arts Festival. You've given so much to our town, so I wanted tonight thank you for all that you've done for Greystones and for our district. And I think it's fair to say we've been really well served by our councillors in this town. I see a lot of towns, as I go around the country, you know, you see a lot of petty party politics. We don't see a lot of that, a little bit of it every now and again. We don't see a lot of it in Greystones. We generally see a very committed bunch of people working together in the interests of our community. And that's what makes us different. That's what gets us to nights like tonight. And we also see our councillors and all of us supported by incredible leadership in terms of the staff of Wicklow County Council. And my reporter and Kate Coughlin are amongst the best public servants I've ever come across in my work, and I want to pay tribute to them. So tonight's a night of celebration, it's a night of gratitude, it's a night where we get to come together with you to say thank you for all that you've done. I've no doubt greystones.ie and Greystones2020 is going to serve our community so well into the future and lay a really solid foundation for the next journey that this town will undergo. So Gurmina Maldi, congratulations.
Thank you, Minister. You stole my notes because I had all the list of people to thank. I'd just like to mention Marie McCooey wasn't in that list, and the tidy towns. I now want to call on the Chief Executive of Wicklow County Council, Mr. Frank Curran, to formally launch the website. Frank.
Thanks, David. Minister Simon Harris, Deputy Stephen Donnelly, Cathaoirleach of Greystones Municipal District, Councillor Nicola Lawless, Gráinne McLaughlin, Chair of Greystones 2020, members of Greystones Municipal District and Greystones 2020, and distinguished guests. I'm delighted to be here today to launch greystones.ie. It's an excellent project led by Greystones 2020 and supported by Greystones Municipal District. I want to compliment Gráinne McLaughlin and the Greystones 2020 team on this very important initiative. Having a strong online presence is vital to modern towns. Greystones.ie, I think, is the perfect opportunity to showcase Greystones as the world's most livable town. The website will promote Greystones as a great place to live, work and play. It will serve to attract potential investors and overseas visitors, as well as serving the needs of local residents. You've all the raw materials in Greystones, making it the envy of some of the finest towns in the country. Scenery, amenities and clubs, transport links, schools, access to third level education, a high level of educational attainment, excellent quality of life. And of course, the secret ingredient, as the Minister pointed out, is the people of Greystones, who have come together to support the various initiatives proposed by Greystones 2020 and supported by Greystones Municipal District. The website will help market Greystones internationally I know the IDA is actively engaged in marketing Greystones worldwide, and Wicklow County Council and IDA Ireland continue to work together in bringing investment to the area. The very high quality design and well executed content cannot fail to impress visitors to the site and will serve to promote an extremely positive image of Greystones. The website is also an important element in the digital strategy for Greystones, and Wicklow County Council are now preparing a digital strategy for the county, and the aim is to ensure that we have the necessary digital infrastructure to live, work and learn in our local area, that we're equipped to benefit from advances in technology and to recognise and avail of opportunities presented by high-speed broadband infrastructure and to create more jobs in the local economy. The presence of greystones.ie will play an important role in supporting the local digital economy. One of Wicklow County Council's objectives is to strengthen our digital retail presence. There are grants and training supports available from the local enterprise office to support us, and we will very shortly have a workshop for retailers in the county to support their online development. Another area under consideration is the establishment of e-hubs and co-working spaces. We know from a recent commuter survey that there are a large number of highly skilled commuters travelling from Greystones to work in areas such as FinTech in Dublin city centre. We hope to develop local hubs to allow employees to work locally for at least part of the working week, thus reducing commuting and enhancing quality of life. Once again, I commend you on the development of this excellent website. I have no doubt that given the talent, creativity and commitment of all those involved, it will be kept current and interesting. Having overhauled the Wicklow website last year, we do not underestimate the work that's required in doing this. In particular, I would like to pay tribute to Grania McLaughlin for leading the team and putting in a huge amount of personal time to ensure that the site is of such a high standard. During her time as an elected representative, and even before, Grania has made a hugely significant impact on Greystones. She was instrumental in winning the accolade of the most livable town in the world. She had a vision and foresight and sheer determination to bring together a group of people who had better things to do with their time to form Greystones 2020, and better still, she kept everybody involved and engaged. We can look forward to the many good things coming out of Greystones 2020 and the development of proposals for the railway station and for Barnaby Park and the much needed public realm plan. We should also recognise the rebranding, the Christmas lights campaign and the bringing of the municipal district and the wider community together to work for the good of Greystones. Grania, you'll be missed as a public representative. I'd like to wish you well for the future and hope you stay involved. Thank you. I would also like to pay tribute to the members of Greystones Municipal District for financially supporting this initiative and indeed other Greystones 2020 initiatives. Your vision for Greystones and your commitment to Greystones have made it the world's most livable town. Thank you very much.
So, Manager, will you, or Chief Executive, will you now formally launch the website?
Yeah. I think the website is now formally launched, and congratulations to everybody involved.
That completes the proceedings for this evening, and there's a glass of wine in that outside. We also know there's a council meeting on this evening, so we wouldn't want to hold up local municipal business by keeping you too long. Thanks very much.
One more
Minister,
thing.
yeah.
Mortification. Thank you very much.